Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to not Market Wrap, Swing Trading today. Not enough coffee yet. Uh, Good morning, RL. I see you out there already. I want to apologize in advance for the audio. I'm still using my webcam mic because my microphone is completely shot. The cord I thought was going to help fix the problem yesterday did not fix the problem, and I will be buying a new microphone today. Here is the old one, which is for the most part brand new, but you can't see it here. But the micro USB jack has fragments in it. Try to clean it out. No good. Shot. So uh, we move on. All right. So what we're going to go over today are the economic data. Colton, I got your CTL, CTLB. Is that a symbol or an acronym? Good morning. That's yeah, RO. Sorry. CTLB is a symbol. Okay. Economic data. Yesterday we had spoken about the ADP number that was to be released, and the prior read. They didn't have a forecast on this, not that I'm seeing anyway. But the prior read was 121,000 jobs on the ADP report. Yesterday was 67,000 jobs. Whether that was in line or not in line with expectations, I'm not quite sure. The real number that I was watching yesterday was the ISM non-manufacturing index. That's right. Click the like button. Thank you. Yes, please, everybody, click the like button. Thanks, Colton. Uh, so any number below 50 is a sign of contraction, like we have on the manufacturing index. That came out again with a contraction number, a read below 50. Yesterday, we saw the non-manufacturing index miss. The expectation was 54.7. The actual came in 53.9%. The only thing that kept this market aloft was the uncredited or unsourced story out of Bloomberg that we were again at short strokes to signing a trade deal, yada yada yada. So that narrative continues to spike the market. I can't believe that it does, but it does. It works, and they're going to keep doing it. So today we have the weekly jobless claims. No big deal there. Factory orders, that comes out at 10 a.m. This number here, trade deficit, back in the 90s, 80s, that number there used to be able to tank the market or spike the market. Nobody cares anymore about the trade deficit. So it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it used to matter. This used to be an important number. Not anymore. The Pimp Mac Daddy of them all, in terms of economic data, comes out tomorrow, and that is non-farm payrolls. Then at 10 a.m., the Consumer Sentiment Index. And of course, these can move the market. Not much this morning in terms of headlines. I'm not seeing much in terms of Brexit news. I think people aren't paying a lot of attention to it for whatever reason. Maybe they know it's a foregone conclusion that the Tories are going to win. From what I understand, they're well ahead in the polls. Stocks continue to edge up higher as trade tariffs loom. And I think the tariffs and Brexit are on the same day. Well, not Brexit, the elections for the UK Parliament, they're on the same day. So that could be a very volatile day. That is in 10 days from now. Let's get to the pre-market action. We'll begin with the NASDAQ. These will be 4-hour charts. And you can see that overnight we pulled back very nicely. And now we are beginning to see a continuation move higher. This morning we are up. But the key to remember is that when you have a market under pressure, in particularly, do not go chasing the morning futures. And members, I discussed how the Stokes looked on a daily basis last night on Market Wrap. Please go check that out. Don't go chasing this market. The Russell 2000, we appear flat this morning with a bias to the upside. Good morning, Patrick. AMRN, you got it, Aro. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. They're up strong this morning. This bar opened up only 10 minutes ago, 4-hour bar, but it looks good. It looks as though we're going to get a continuation move higher here this morning. And for those folks that are just joining, remember that the Swing Trading Today commentary is really just a commentary with regard to how we might open. If you're looking for that macro view of how these markets should trade, in our opinion, you need to take a look at the daily commentary that I put out, the weekly commentary. That's the higher level view. This is just an indication of how we're going to open up the day this morning. Taking a look at the bond market, 10-year note. We're up, but marginally. We had a breakout here on the 3rd, and then we failed. Breakout point failure. So this is putting pressure on gold, silver. It's putting a bid under stocks. Let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar is down, but I want to point out a divergence here on the dollar. It's right here on RSI. So we rallied off the lows, began to slope downward on RSI, and it's consistent with the price action. All is right with the world, right? It's consistent. What's different here is that you have RSI, which is broken out in advance of price. And believe me, I want to be wrong here. I want to see the dollar move lower for our gold mining position to do well and silver position. But I can't ignore what RSI is telling us, is that we may get a spike up higher. Will it last? Again, this is only a 4-hour chart. Let's take a look at gold and silver. Gold continues to consolidate here. We sloped up higher overnight, only to drop down this last 4-hour bar. No new follow through to the downside. This current bar, which opened up 13 minutes ago and closes at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the rising 20-period moving average in blue. That could provide a lift for the price of gold. but at current we're holding steady. And you know, if you take it, if you think about it from, forget the charts, right, for a moment. And I rarely say that, but if you think about the events that are unfolding right now, you have the trade deal, which is for the most part unwinding. If you want to go by the headline news, what news is there? There are unnamed sources for stories. It's the same thing over and over again. Remember, it was only a couple of weeks ago the market surged on Larry Kudlow's comment that they were putting on the short strokes on a deal. Where's that deal? And the markets broke out to new all-time highs. Here we are yet again under pressure. So we have more tariffs on the horizon on the 15th. Do they get kicked down the road? Do they get notched back? I don't know. But it's still a risk that is out there. Also, you have the UK elections in Parliament, early elections. So you can see gold rallying off the lows here. So these are two major geopolitical events, because if you get the Tories put into Parliament, then in all probability you are going to see unless of course there's some dirty trick, you're going to see the UK leave the Eurozone. So the markets are not going to embrace that because it's an unknown event. They don't know what's going to happen. And stocks like predictability. They want visibility. And the only visibility I see at current are two major unknowns out there. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't see gold and silver breaking down. But you never know. I can only see upside here despite the charts. Now going through the charts, how do we look? We're lethargic at best. We're consolidating. And if you want to really split hairs here, and again, it's only a 4-hour chart. If you want to split hairs here, we are in a megaphone formation. What am I doing? This should be red. Let me highlight this. So we were putting in higher highs, but we're also putting in lower lows. So we're consolidating within a widening trading range. And I said earlier that we were ticking up off the lows of the session, and now we just dropped back. So very, very volatile markets here, very headline driven. And I don't think that the markets are truly pricing in the geopolitical risk. And you can see this megaphone reflected as well on RSI. Sam, good morning, Sam. Bob, the screen resolution is not good. I mean, it's the same as before. Thank you, Sam. I got to figure out how to fix it. Here, I'll show you I'm like an open book. Please check video resolution. The current resolution is 1152 by 648, which is not optimal. Then when I go to more info, it's telling me the same thing. It doesn't give me instructions. So I got to figure out how to adjust the resolution. Is it on my monitor? Is it within YouTube? I got to figure it out. If somebody out there is a tech guru, please let me know. I'm chef, cook, and bottle washer around here for a lot of my technical needs. So thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. All right, so that's gold. Let's bring up silver. The camera's good? Good. That's good to hear. I'm getting a 4K camera, so you'll probably be able to see this mug even better. But I needed to get a 4K camera. You need to have a very powerful CPU. You can't see it here, but I just bought a new computer, a very, very powerful computer. It's like a server, and it's actually a gaming computer. It's so powerful, and I'll be able to host the 4K camera. So that's coming up soon, and making a lot of investment. But first of all, I need a microphone, and I got to fix the resolution. So thanks for the feedback, Sam. I appreciate it. All right, to silver. What a mess. We limped up overnight here. Nice, right? But then this last 4 hour bar, we gave it all up. We're holding support. No follow through to the downside. This just tells me it's all light volume. So we'll see how we open up. I mean, the daily chart is silver. I went over this last night with members. Is mixed in that we did see a breakout point failure, meaning we broke out a couple of days ago, only to reverse, break back down again. But we held a key support level and bounced. So today's going to be a very important day for silver. Either we recapture a support level or we break to new lows. I'm predicting one of the two. I think that given the geopolitical events out there, at some point in time, you're going to see some insurance buying in advance of these dates. I can't see how you don't. And the price of gold and silver should be beneficiaries of that insurance. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But that's the play on the trade that we are making right now. We actually opened up a small short position yesterday on the small caps. So we'll see how that plays out as well. I didn't forget about you, RL. We'll go to AMRN in a moment. We are long of the LABU, folks. I went over this last night. I don't like the fact that we're spiking up this morning on the major averages. If they spike LABU up this morning, in all probability, we already have a profit, about 4% profit on that trade. We're going to scalp those profits, and we'll see whether or not the market holds the gains on the day, and we'll just go to cash. If it does, then we'll look to re-enter at a better risk-reward point. But I want to scalp profits until this market tells us that for a fact it is beginning to break out yet again and it has stability. As it stands right now, I'm worried about a sell-off here in the market. So we'll see whether or not my concerns are validated today or not. But I just get the feeling that we are being lured into a rally that we shouldn't be involved with. Now, Bitcoin had a very volatile session yesterday, and today it is moving up yet again, struggling with resistance. We were looking for a low 7,000 handle. We saw that yesterday. We hit a low of 71.20, and on earlier in the day we were down near the 7,000 mark. The low was 7,085. So I think there's a possibility here. Let's go to a weekly chart out of curiosity. I think there's a possibility here that we've seen the lows for Bitcoin. Yeah, this is a nice handle formation. If we break out to new weekly highs, in all probability, we've seen the lows for Bitcoin. Again, this is a weekly chart, folks. Patrick, did I watch any of the hearings yesterday? I didn't, Patrick. I got to be honest with you. The clips that I've seen so far, this is not the country I knew or the Congress I knew. Even 10 years ago, I'm in shock at what I'm seeing here, the undermining of our republic. It's just disturbing. I want to see that one professor out of, I believe it's Stanford, and what she had to say. It's just disturbing. I don't know how to put it. Sam, VIX Daily seems launched on the downside, by the way. Maybe another move up possible. Yeah, anything's possible with the VIX. I mean, with the VIX needs to be looked at as not just another index. It's an insurance vehicle, right? So the same argument holds true for the VIX as it does for gold and silver, in that if you're betting that there's going to be volatility due to the fact that we have geopolitical risk on the table, I agree, Patrick, 100%. Then you'll want to look at the VIX as well, because it's an insurance policy against the S&P 500. So in all probability, the pullback that we've seen on the VIX is a rest, and we'll probably see a spike up higher into the back half of the week, early next week. Lil Born, I echo what you say. We have the same crap in the UK. So, so you're over in the UK. So, what's the word on the street there? The Tories are well ahead in the polls. What's the thought? How soon thereafter? I'm assuming that the Tories win. How soon thereafter is there an expectation that there'll be a Brexit from the EU? Is that a conspiracy theory here on the U.S. side, or is that reality on your side? I'd be interested in the feedback from the man on the street. And thanks for your input, Lil Born. And thanks for joining us. While I wait for the response from Lil Born, I will go over to the charts that we're watching. Let's see, I have an alert set for Amron. We were talking about it. Yep. And they fired off as well. I'm going to clean this up a bit. All right, so before I do that, we had a retest or a breakout, actually. A breakout. We had retest of support, good stuff. We broke out last month, pulled back, did a retest. All right, so that's what we were looking for. Okay. Let's get rid of this. All right, so we broke out. We're going to begin with the monthly chart. We broke out last month in November. This month we were looking for a pullback and a retest. We got it. Stokes are hooking up. RSI hooking up. Weekly view. Very, very nice. Let's get rid of this. I drew this line in anticipation of a breakout. Sam, there is a lot of discussion about European stability mechanism. Yeah, I read an article about the German banks this morning. A headline, anyway. I didn't read the article. I saw the headline. I didn't read the article. I need to read that article. Here in Italy, yeah, they crushed you guys. Italy, Greece, they put all those controls on. Here in Italy, they don't want, because we saved the banks with our money. Now they want to save the German banks with the money for all the Europeans. Yeah, go figure, right? Interesting. So it's called the ESM, European Stability Mechanism. I got to look that up. Thanks for that, Sam. And folks, if you're just joining, if I could ask you to click that like button, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. It helps me out with the YouTube algos. Appreciate it very, very much. All right, so weekly view of Amarin. We broke out this week. Here you have it. And we are trading near the highs of the week. RSI rising. Stokes beginning to flatten out on a weekly basis. A couple of trading days left to go. Yeah, we'll take a look at UGAZ, Patrick. Oil, we went over oil last night on Market Wrap. Very bullish setup there. Energy, I'm going to revisit because we recaptured daily support. and we'll take a look at UGAZ as well for you in a moment. And we'll leave off with that. So weekly Amron looking really good. Let's go to a daily view. Before I do that, let's just throw up some overlays here. Actually, there don't appear to be any. Oh, there we go. Let's throw up some monthlies. I doubt. Oh, they do have monthlies here. All right, so here's your rising lower band of support. A lot of room between. I would keep a stop right below this 1994 level on a closing basis. Daily chart. Lilborn. Okay, this is about the UK. Boris will leave as soon as he can by the end of January. Wow. Get Brexit done. I saw that thumbnail on Zero Hedge earlier. Or was it Bloomberg? Yeah, Bloomberg. Right here. But there then the hard slog of getting trade deals start, and the right-wingers want... The right-wingers wanted... Oh, they want a hard Brexit. Yeah. So the Get Brexit Done statement that he's making here, is that a putting a fire under the negotiators, or is that a right-wing statement meaning they're going to just do a hard Brexit with no trade deal? Any idea there? I think that Merkel, there's something wrong with her, Sam. I think there's something really mentally wrong. I think she got injected with some Soros hemoglobin or something. There's something wrong with her. How she thought that some of her policies would work is just mind-boggling. And I believe at one point in time, she was thought of as being somewhat right-wing or moderate. You can't make that argument anymore. Daily chart, Amron. We broke out yesterday. We're at a bit of resistance here. I think we're moving up higher. I mean, Amron, and correct me if I'm wrong here, biotech sector, the biotechs did well yesterday. I suspect that they will do well today. Let's bring up the LABU. We are long of LABU. I think we go higher here. But again, we're going to be looking to book profits here. And unless you're a very, very disciplined momentum trader, don't go buying LABU now. On a spike higher. If you get a pullback, maybe the setup will be there. But this horse has left the barn. And we're going to be looking to book profits. Let's take a look at leaving off with Amron. It looks very good. I like it. Taking a look at UGAZ. Before I do this, Patrick, we'll take a look at spot nat gas. Oh, these UGAZ. Lilborn. It's an electioneering slogan to fool people into thinking that Boris has a great deal. I see. Gotcha. Thank you for that. Politics is politics on either side of the pond, right? Sam, every single time Italians get with Germans, it just went bad. Yeah. Yeah, it goes back to the Roman Empire, right? Yeah, good point. Okay, let's take a look at the price of spot nat gas this morning, and then we'll take a look at the UGAZ. Here we go. All right, so this is a weekly view of nat gas, and earlier in the week, I was quite concerned about it. I was concerned that we were going to break this lower band of support. And at current, we've held it and we have recaptured this dashed secondary downtrend line. If we close above it, obviously very, very bullish stuff. Ideally, we close at the highs of the week, but net on the week, pretty good. We're off the highs. Let's go to a 4-hour chart, see how we're setting up on the day. Looking good here. Here's the breakout on that secondary downtrend line. And we pulled back, did a retest here, here, here. Very solid support now. And we are now moving up higher. I think that in all probability, we are going to break out. And again, it just goes to show you how the charts can influence opinion. And don't forget, today is, Thursday. Okay, so Thursday, you have nat gas inventories report. Just keep that in mind, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That can move the price. But again, go back to what I was just about to say. Earlier in the week, I was bearish on UGAZ, and now we are looking bullish. And it just goes to show you how quickly things can change, and how I don't have an opinion one way or the other steadfastly. The charts will dictate which way we want to trade this market. And if I begin to see a rally up and through this upper band of resistance, that puts into sight this primary upper band of resistance. And I would swing trade this. I wouldn't hold a position where to buy this breakout. I would enjoy the rally up and into this resistance bar, book the profits, make them real, and then watch and see. Do we break out above this upper band of resistance or do we not? Simple as that. RSI looking very, very good. And for the most part, I just went over the UGAZ, but we'll take a look at it anyway. Yep, that's a good way of putting it, the 1030 effect. I like that. So this is a question from Lilborn. Bob, do you recommend taking out call options on CBOV VIX or any other related ETFs such as TVIX? I used to own TVIX. Man, that was the most volatile darn thing I ever owned in my life. And I promised I would never, ever buy it again. So, me personally, no. I know the VIX was heavily shorted. I don't know what the short interest is on the VIX at current. You've seen a big rally. Is the short interest changed somewhat? I don't know. I don't see a reason at current to go buying VIX options on speculation. They're not extremely oversold. They're not extremely overbought. That's the only time that I personally would do it. Me, I have a hedge on the markets turning over with the gold miners, silver, and a small short position. I don't really need the VIX. I wouldn't recommend it. It's far too volatile. I need to be able to say, if I were to buy call options or put options, I need to be able to be asked by you, what is your edge over other traders? What are you seeing? Because you're dealing with time decay on a very, very volatile underlying issue. So if you're wrong slightly, you're wrong big. So me personally, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. They're way too volatile. Yeah, lost a ton with. I've been there, man. I've made a ton. I've lost a ton on TVIX. I would avoid that issue. It's just way too volatile. I mean, I like volatility, but that's out of my league. Yeah, me too. Years ago, and I've never revisited. I see that symbol. It's like, it's like you put in a cross in front of Dracula. I don't want to get involved with it. So that's my passionate way of saying no. I wouldn't get involved with the TVIX in particular. You're welcome, Lilborn. You're welcome. If you want to just keep it safe, look for a break in the market and look to purchase a whatever issue that you're looking to buy. If it's a break in the market on the small caps, and if you like volatility, which apparently that you do, then look at the TZA. and all of these indexes nowadays have a leveraged ETF that you could purchase, and you could either sell calls against it or not. So I think that those are probably a better bet for you. And if you don't want the volatility and you want to be short the market, then simply short the IWM or any other of the indexes. But if you want a volatility, as I like, buy the leveraged ETFs. And that way you could, the Dow's spiking now, we'll take a look at it. Okay. So that's my feedback for you, LeBron. But thanks for the question. Let's take a look at the Dow. Let's go to the NASDAQ first. Yeah, it's moving up higher here. You know, the question is this sustainable? $15-minute chart. If you're looking for sustainability, you know, if they keep this up into, and we saw this before, if they keep this up into the open, you're going to get a sell-off. We're already trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band on IWM 15-minute basis, and it's moving up higher now. Same deal on a 30-minute basis. Let them spike it. And we'll leave off with the UGAZ in a moment. But I'll bet that the Dow is looking the same. Where the hell is it? All right. Dead silence here, and I hate that. Here we go. All right, so yeah, they're spiking it up higher. No shock. Let them do it. All right, let's go over to UGAZ and shut things down because we are running late here. All right, so for the most part, we went over the weekly view of nat gas. Would I be a buyer here at current on a weekly basis as an investment? No, because we're still in that descending wedge formation. And this is on a daily basis, weekly. You can see that we tapped resistance and we sold off. Let's get rid of these. We have an alert set here for a breakout above this upper band of resistance. Jesus Christ, what's these charts today? All right. Forget it. Technology is not working for me today. All right, let's just take a look at the 4-hour chart here. UGAZ in the pre-market, looking good along with nat gas. Higher lows. and we are breaking out. So it looks like the morning is going to bode well for you, GAZ, at least up until that. What did you call it, Patrick? 10:30 what? The 10:30 effect. Love it. All right, with that, folks, I'm going to shut it down. Yeah. What Patrick means by the 10:30 effect, he means 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and that's when you get nat gas inventories that come out in the United States. So that can have a big impact on the price of natural gas. So to open up a position in advance of that would be unwise to do unless you have inside information, which would be wrong. So that is it for this morning, folks. Everybody have a profitable trading day. If you click that like button, I'd appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon. Be well.